Hi, my name is Brianna, and I wanted to share my experience being a military spouse going through my first deployment. I think that people generally have no idea what this is like, and especially when I was about to go through the deployment, I did try to find out what people's experiences were like. So I just want to put mine out there. Um, well, I think I'm having a little bit of a unique experience because I am currently 28 years old, which is older than a lot of women on their first deployments because my husband joined the Army at 26 and he's been in for 3 years. So there's that. Being 28 means that I've had experiences living on my own. I did go away to college, so I had that experience like being in a new place. Well, it wasn't a new place, it was in my hometown. But afterwards, I did move to a different town where I met my husband. And then before we got married, I lived on my own for about a year. I'm also pregnant, so that is having an impact on my experience. I also don't have kids. A lot of people at my age already have children in the military. And I'm not a super emotional person, so I think I might be taking this in stride better than a lot of other women. Nonetheless, so the process of getting ready for the deployment is, I mean, it starts kind of early. So last year there were rumors about deployment. Like everybody was saying that they were going to leave in June of this year. But with the Army, you really don't know what to believe. Like so much stuff is said and so little actually happens that you can't get your hopes up or down. You just kind of have to take things as they come. So they actually got orders in January. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're going to deploy. But my husband did get orders because my husband was having vision surgery in February, which means that he needed a full 90 days to recover before he could go join them on the deployment. So he ended up leaving June 25th, whereas the rest of his unit left June or April, like Easter weekend. So prior to him leaving, there were some things to get them ready and then also to get us ready as a family. We had this briefing for like all the wives where they told us about some of the resources available to us, and then they also basically told us like, don't be starting stuff because your husband can't fix it, which is good advice because they can't really fix it. We're like in this half-life situation, and so it's, I mean, we're all stressed out for different reasons, so it is kind of unreasonable to think that you're going to fix any major marriage issues you have. And then also, they said don't talk about like problems because your husband can't fix it. So that seems like, oh, your car just broke down, the engine fell out in the highway. Don't say anything. I don't think that, I don't think they really mean don't let them know anything. They are just saying like don't try to be emotionally dependent on him because he can't really physically do anything. But sometimes that's annoying because yeah, he's not here, but I still am married to somebody and I need to be able to lean on them. So there's that. Also, I had to spend a lot of money prior to deployment because they have packing lists, and a lot of people spend like close to $700 to $1,000 getting ready, which is a surprise because you feel like they should probably have everything they need and it not cost us anything because it's already costing us emotionally. Anyway, so the actual deployment, however, has been, I think like it seemed both worse and better in my mind because I knew I could get by being on my own because I have experience being on my own and I'm an independent person. Also, like I'm a black woman, so being independent like has to be a part of who I am. But the nuances of it, I did not really think through. I just kind of thought like, well, I'm gonna get through this one way or the other. But actually, like day to day can be difficult, and I understand that more now. So what I have, first of all, the one of the biggest surprises is I do get to talk to my husband pretty often, like every day. Again, or did I even say this? He's not doing like a typical deployment. I mean, they are deployed, but the work that they're doing is not the what you think of when you think of people being deployed. So he has like more of a routine schedule and all that. So we get to FaceTime like 10-20 minutes a day, and we talk. He had to buy Wi-Fi over there, which is not like, we pay $30-$60 or whatever it is for internet here. I think last month he probably spent like $160 on internet, which is annoying because I'm like, excuse me, he's not over there for fun. He needs to be able to talk to his family. So why does he have to pay for internet? But it is what it is. You just gotta accept stuff with the military. But it's also been hard because I have to do everything for myself. Now, granted, I did live by myself before, so I've done this, but like, I'm married. I don't want to do everything for myself. But I have to, and the first thing was the trash. Like, I had forgotten to take the trash out for 2 weeks in a row because do I look like I be taking trash out? Well, now I be taking trash out. So I forgot a couple weeks, and there was maggots and flies, and then I had to clean it, and I was pregnant, it was summer, it was just the worst. And something about that just made me feel insecure. And then also spiders everywhere. I'm looking at a spider that like lives over my desk. I actually have let the spider live because it seems to catch flies and stuff, so I'm just gonna let him do him. But there are lots of spiders and bugs, and it just kind of makes me feel insecure. But that's a small thing. There are people who it seems like every time their husband leaves, something breaks, and you just have to deal with it. Like, you have to deal with it, and that sucks sometimes, especially me being pregnant. I actually started a statistics class online right when he left, and I just wish somebody would give me something to eat so I could just do my work and then do my work and then do my homework and just, make it a little bit easier on me. But there's no one to make anything easier on me. It's also hard because it's not, I don't have like my best friend to hang out with all the time because he's not here. And I don't feel like I'm super connected to the women here because I'm 28 with no children. Whereas based on his career, most of his peers are like early 20s, and a lot of them aren't married, don't have kids. Or they're young and they do have several kids. Just like I'm not in the same life place as most other women. But the biggest thing for me is I feel like I kind of like don't have a purpose. I don't want to be here. And that means I don't want to be here on the base or post with my husband not here. Like, what's the point of being here if not to be a wife? I can FaceTime from Cape Girardeau, Missouri and send care packages and stuff, so that's frustrating. But since I do work full time, I have to stay here. There are some good parts about deployment, however. The first thing is deployment pay, hey. But it's nice to have extra money, but we also have goals. So like, I need a new car, my husband needs a new car, and we're planning to pay cash. So gotta have cash to pay for that. And I'm also starting a master's program, so I need money for that. So it's not like I can just go wilding out and all that. And also I feel really self-conscious about the money I spend because he's not really spending any. And I just feel like we're meant to be saving, so I can't enjoy it as much. And then I am pregnant, so I have other expenses that come along with that aren't typical, and I just feel really self-conscious. Other than that, him being deployed or any separation with the military is kind of a good thing because you kind of dwell in this suspended stage of wanting each other. So there is little I want more than just to lay in bed with my husband with my back up against his chest. That is just something that I want more than anything. But if he were here or if he never left, I don't know if that particular experience would mean so much to me. So I'm grateful for that. And then I also like kind of the freedom of just having to worry about myself. And of course I don't have kids yet, but I just have to think about me. I don't have to think about cooking or cleaning. And you should see the house sometimes because no one's coming over here, so it's a wreck. But I've been doing better lately because nobody needs to live in squalor. It wasn't really squalor, but like still. I keep the house clean when he's here. And I can just focus on me and the things that I want to do. So some of the ways that I've tried to cope with being on the deployment is working on things or having things that are for me. For instance, like I said, I did the class, I'm waiting to start my master's degree. Growing a baby is kind of like really all encompassing and or all consuming, I should say. I have used meetup.com since I've been here, but one of the things I'm doing now is a book club. I made an effort to get back into it. It's a book club. If somebody invites me to something, I do it. Not only to have, if only to just fill that time of the day is great, but then also maybe I'll make a friend. And if not, at least I still had something to do. And I've also tried to maintain my friendships since I've been here and build other friendships. But for some people get married and they just kind of abandon the other relationships. And then especially military, you get married, you move away, and people tend to forget about you. So it's important to maintain those relationships because you'll need them. I think that my friends, some of my closest friends have really been here for me, and I acknowledge you and I thank you because I feel very isolated sometimes, and I feel like people don't understand what this is like and they can't even fathom it. So I feel neglected as a pregnant woman, as a military spouse. So I really appreciate when people are thinking about me. I don't know if I said already, but I'm sending all these care packages. Ain't nobody sending me nothing. So it's nice to have my friends checking on me, and Elizabeth sent me a care package. Kamisha sent me a card. Things like that just make me feel really good. Of course, I would like that stuff for my husband, but I don't think that there's a Walmart over there for him to be sending me stuff. He did send me an edible arrangement once because I had this dream that he was leaving me, and I woke up crying. Man, that first trimester of pregnancy is just really something else. Another thing I do is I go to counseling. I've gone to counseling off and on since I've been here because one of the benefits of TRICARE Prime, which is what I have, TRICARE is our insurance, is I can go to this, I can get insurance, go to counseling 36 times a year for free. So I go, right now I'm going every other week, but basically I'm having a life-changing experience, and I don't get to process that because I don't have anybody to talk to on a regular basis. I work from home, so I do my work. Yeah, I'm customer service, talk on the phone all day, but I need, I don't get to have regular conversations because I'm alone all day, all weekend. So it's nice to have her to talk to. And one of the things she did point out to me was people don't understand what it's like to be a military spouse. And I have to accept that, and I have to release my expectations of others, and also release my expectations of my husband in this situation, because he's in a compromised situation just like I am. He's stressed. He has stressors I can't relate to. I have stressors he can't relate to. So I just have to give him a break and just try to make it to January when hopefully he'll be coming back. So that's been my deployment experience. I would like to also talk about my experience being pregnant during deployment, because I had a lot of moments where I'm I just really didn't think this through, did I? But I'm not going to do that today. Anyway, thank you very much for staying with me to the end of this video, and I hope to talk to you again.